everybody, to the third episode of Behind the Agent, a series brought to you by myself, Rampant Rooster, and Lala Lady D. In this series, we will be interviewing players from Zenith, The Last City. It's an open world MMORPG virtual reality game. You can purchase Zenith through Steam or through the Mayday store. Uh, I'm going to let Lala take over and introduce our guest.
Yeah, so today we have Consequence with us. He is one of the leaders of the Essence Zealots, aka EZ, which is one of the largest guilds in Zenith. He's also the lead developer of EZ.community, a website that we're going to be talking about today, and also one of the OG founders of Zenith. So, and you're still playing today, which is awesome.
Yeah.
So thanks for joining. I guess, we kind of wanted to talk about because you put a lot of work into this website and this website, easy.community. I've gotten all of my information from that website. It is so super cool. That's why we're so stoked to have you on today. But anything you need to know about Godstones, your gear setup, anything to optimize your playing experience in Zenith, it is on this website, which is cool. There's a lot of features, which I guess you'll talk about in just a minute, that we just want to make sure a lot of people who play the game know about. So I guess kind of talk to us a little bit about the work that goes into the site and, kind of how you develop content, how people, what are the best parts to use. We talked about something that you're going to mention here in just a minute. Just tell us a little bit about what you do and because it's all on your own time, which is awesome.
Yeah. So I'm the lead developer on the Easy Community project. I basically code everything that goes into the website. I help manage the databases that we use to store all of our data, all the back end stuff that goes into it. I work with all of our community informant data team that goes out and gathers the information, helps us, collect all the quests and the map stuff and class data, synthesis, recipes, all that stuff. They all gather the data, and then I find a way to combine it together and put it into a digestible format on the website for everybody to, use.
And a lot of it, the testing is through PTRs, right?
Yeah, and we gather a lot of it. I mean, as long as it's not under NDA, because I know Ramen has a lot of NDA stuff that they don't want shared, but we gather a lot of that while it's under NDA. And the second Ramen's like, "Hey, we're good. NDA's over," we get it all into the website. Sorry. Yeah.
So, you speak about the people who kind of gather stuff, information for you. What kind of information are you looking for from other players?
I mean, right now, anything that's new or any of the data that we don't currently have on the website. So there's some stuff. Our informant team used to be very large. It has gotten a little smaller. A lot of it's being done by Zane and Allie. We do have a couple of other people who help us out, Jackie and some other of our informant team that gather the data, but they're very over leveraged, so we don't always have everything on the website because we're trying to get it all in place. And
there's a lot of information out there for you to gather. It's not. I mean, Zenith is a big game, and since it's going on almost 2 years, coming up in January, there's just a lot of information to gather out there. So I can imagine how hard that is to get all of that information and then get it to you and then get it compiled and then post it onto the site.
Yep.
Yeah. I don't think people realize that it's a lot of work that goes and a lot of work that goes into it to make sure it's ready by the time everyone needs it, which is amazing too.
Yep. Yeah. I mean, we want to be a lot like the Wowhead of Zenith, and I know Wowhead has a lot of connections with Blizzard to just automatically pull the data out of the files, and we don't do that because Ramen doesn't want people doing that. So we have to gather all the data manually, and that takes a lot more work. There's a lot more digging, double checking things, checking screenshots, making sure all the data that I'm putting onto the website actually does match what is actually shown in game,
Mm.
and also making sure that it's up to date. So as they change things, making sure that things are correct.
Yeah, with each update, I'm sure the Skyland update probably changed a lot of like even like the quest lines alone
Oh yeah,
are one of
oh
the
yeah.
things that majorly changed in that.
And right before Skyland, the pets. So
Mm.
there was a massive, like, we had to add an entirely new pets page. We had to add all the different, we had to double check all the different modifiers, and not everybody had each of the pets. So we didn't really know which modifiers were going to be on there and which pets they were on, and
Mm.
are they on all of those pets, and like double checking all that data for accuracy took a lot. It was a lot. And
Well, it's very much appreciated. Like, I learned my tier route from using the interactive map on there. I'm able to do like the tier guides now because I learned all of the places that you guys had mapped out, like, and the equipment perks and everything. Like, it's nice to have one place to go to, and be able to find as much information as you can about a game.
I don't think you're giving yourself enough credit. When she says she learned it, she memorized every single location. She's the only person in Zenith who can actually memorize and just take you to all the areas. Because once you get the tiers, they don't show up, but she
Mm.
will take you to every location in
yeah,
Zenith.
I
So
actually
a
saw I
lot of
saw
studying.
I saw a Facebook post the other day. Someone was actually asking for a specific location. You knew right away which one they were missing.
Yep, I was like, I know. Yep, it's the Invisible Mountain one. That's a huge one that
Yeah,
people miss.
yeah, and it's nice because we have the map and we have screenshots on every single one of those tiers. I can take a screenshot of the map, take
Mm,
a picture of that actual screenshot, and just show them it's right here.
mm,
This is the one, and that's super useful for people.
yes,
And
yeah.
then they're always like, "Oh, where'd you get this from?" And then I'm like, "Oh, here, it's this website."
Let me show you. Let me show you the way,
Yes,
the way to knowledge. And
definitely.
so there's another part of your site that is pretty awesome that I don't know if everybody knows about. You
It's
wanna you
next
wanna.
level stalker, I think.
It is. It is. I can see what's in your. I can see what's in your bags, and
Definitely.
behind your
and
behind
on your
the
gear,
curtain.
and on your gear.
Yeah, the
Trying to-
uplink feature. Yeah, that's something we worked really hard on. That was not on the original versions of the website before I actually came on and as a developer on this. And one of the things I really wanted, because I used this all the time while I was playing WoW, was the optimizers and the gear tools and being able to bring up my gear and looking at it, compare it with others. I wanted to be able to have a linkable system where I could link the page and it would have their character sheet, bring it right up onto the screen, and be able to have two people's links side by side, so you could bring up both of them and say, well, this person's doing this much damage and they're really good at it, and they've got these modifiers and this setting, and it's like this person has this and this. It's like, here's the things you could change to improve your character. And I as soon as I knew that Skywave provided that data and they weren't putting it on Skywave, but there was a way to get it, I was like, yeah, we're doing that. This is going to be the greatest thing ever. And as Skywave, it's not currently under development, but they are, when they start working on it again, and I'm sure they will at some point, we are going to be right there to make
Mm,
sure that every little feature they offer is going to be up on that tool.
yeah, that's
So I
good.
I think the common thing that people use that is, hey, here's someone who's really good.
Mm,
What's their build? Like, what are the all the perks that they have assigned, everything, and that's why it's a really great tool. But I remember the first time Z looked at my and I was like, how does he know? I was like, this how I didn't know, and then that's why it's really funny. It's a little bit stalkerish, but it's hilarious. But it's great to again kind of know what are the godstones, what are they doing, how
mm.
Yeah.
can I
Well, and
how
along
can
with like what people can see is like someone who's helping you can look at your stuff and be like, okay, you have this outfit on, but in your inventory you have this, and it's actually better suited for you. Like they can kind of give you advice, which I think is amazing because like you know. I'm not a super hardcore player. I enjoy playing, and I am learning all of this stuff because thank you to your website. Like I now know I didn't really pay attention to Godstones before we had to do the wrist thing, and now like I am like paying attention to each and every single one. And
Yeah.
So it's great to have that information out
This,
there.
the second that Goss comes back in, because I know he's currently doing military stuff, but when he's back on the team for Ramen and he's building Skywave again, I'm hoping that we'll be able to get that stuff, that the Godstone skill trees up on Skywave, because that's
huge.
that's
'Cause,
huge.
I
Like
mean,
being
it's a
able to,
big change, and people come in and they're like, what is this? Like, what am I doing?"
right? And there's no easy way right now to show people's builds. Like
No.
that's the builds are like a big deal. There's like, did you take these or did you take these, and why did you do that? And
Did you
like,
go AP? Did you go armor? Like,
right?
what are you doing?
Yeah. And a lot of people who first start playing Zenith, they don't really realize how stuff is really complicated. There's a lot more nuance to it than you think. Like it seems like it's really simple, and it is definitely not simple.
No, it's not. No, like I remember before I even found out what Godstones were, I was probably level like, I don't know, 30, and then I like opened up and I'm like, what is this? And I was like, oh my gosh, like, why do I have some purples? And then they're like, you have purples, and I'm like, I don't know, I guess. So then like that's when I got into like paying a little bit more attention to it. But like then like I just equipped the purples and was like, I'm good. But now like you can fine tune it a lot better than what you could before. Like you kind of realize what you're doing more. So like the Godstone setups now, like I think are hugely improved. Like I actually know what I'm doing with them. And then also like the website and everything like helps me know like what each one is doing. Because I don't know, I think it's fantastic.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm hoping soon for the skill tree thing. I mean, we've got skill trees up on the class page, and you can actually see them, but there's no way to like see what each character has, just what each skill tree looks like and the options that are on it, which is still useful.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
Well, I mean, that's the thing about Zenith is you learn a lot of it by like tribal knowledge or, talking to other people. And this is the one place where you can actually really learn and study things. That's why it's so valuable to a lot of players. So definitely wanted to make sure that we talked about it today.
Yeah, because I mean, it's where a lot of like you said, like you learn off of other players. Zenith doesn't really have like a guide out there, and so like the Easy Community site is a guide. Like it's got all of the quests on there for you to go through and check and see if you want to know where to get carrots. You can find that on there too. The tiers, all that's on there, and the perks and on equipment and everything it's on there. I mean, it is the go-to place that has everything on there.
Yeah, there's even some interesting features on the website like chest runs, and that's kind of nice. Zane went through a lot of work building those chest runs with Allie and just getting into that. We could click on them and it shows the path that you can take and the links to the videos where they show themselves doing those same paths.
That's another thing. Like I love that you guys have how-to videos on there as well, because some people are super visual where like show me what you're doing, and you guys have it, like you can walk them through it.
Yep. Yeah, we actually have an entire video team that does that stuff. They do like Taco and just our other video people, Rush. He edits a lot of the videos and they get them up on the website for different things, and when new content comes out, we're doing that in the public test realms before anything launches. We're making sure to get videos of it and making sure that even if it changes, that we'll be able to edit the videos and get it right. So that the second it's live and the NDA comes down, that we can put those right up on the site and have people get an explanation.
That's awesome. That's all of your team. We appreciate all of them. Like, thank you.
Yeah.
For putting it all together.
Well, we're glad to help. Definitely. We want to make, that's one of the reasons I do this, especially considering I get paid for it, is I want to see Zenith grow. Yeah. I want this community to thrive, and having tools like this is why WoW thrives, because they have optimizers and they have Wowhead and they have, even before that, they had Alakazam, like these websites that had massive amounts of data and how to do things. And that's why WoW is big, and that's why Zenith will be big, because we have all this data available. Because there's people who like to figure it all out, and then there are people who just want to enjoy the game.
Information.
Yeah, and if they have the information, it's much easier for them to enjoy it and just get to the meat of the game, and so that's what they want.
Yeah. All right. Well, we definitely appreciate your and your team's hard work. Stay with us because we're going to have a part 2. Get to know you a little bit better outside of just your work on the Easy community site. So part 2 coming. Stay tuned.